here, and welcome back to another tier list video. Today, we're updating our Treyarch Zombies tier list. As you can see from our list, we've got a lot of Treyarch zombie maps to talk about. Except for all the ones that never played, that being Horizon, Gorod, Zetsubo, and Revelations. I still have not played those. And I just been putting it off because, older Call of Duty games are not safe, especially BO3 is not very safe to play. So I've been pushing Black Ops 3 kind of off for a bit. So it'll be a while before I finally get to these maps. I know you guys told me, I know a lot of you told me previously to play these because these are some good maps. And I know they are. From what I've seen from like a ton of speedruns and whatnot. I know these are some banger maps. I'm not gonna say I promise, but I plan on playing these eventually, so please bear with me. Now, with that being said, let me just add this one. I forgot about this one. With that being said, let us get started with today's list. We are starting from World at War, not during Totem, and we're working our way all the way up to BO6's Shattered Veil. I'm also gonna throw in the Dead Ops arcades of Black Ops 1, 3, and Cold War since I played those, and I have something to say about those. So with that being said, let's get it. We have F tier being the worst and S tier being the best. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of F tier. I'm gonna get rid of this tier. I don't think there's an F tier map, but D tier will serve as our lowest, okay? So, starting with World at War's Not During Totem. It's the first map ever made, released on disc, but with World at War back in 2008. This is the most bare bones map you're ever gonna play. There's no power, there's no perks, there's no traps. All you have are wall weapons and a mystery box with a ton of different items like Molotovs, rocket launchers, and of course the ray gun. Not During Totem is still the creepiest zombies map to ever exist. It's even creepier than a lot of the World War II zombies maps, which were wholly horror based. The atmosphere on World at War Not is so just spine tingling. From the designs of the zombies, from the sounds, and just the overall ambience, it's just I get chills thinking about it. Now, because this is as bare bones as it gets, I normally put Not During Totem in C tier to get us started. To me, it's not exactly a D tier map. On paper it is, but the ambience to me bumps it up to C tier, in my opinion. Now, this is where I would normally skip Varuk, Shino, and Darius for World at War. This is where I would say, oh guys, haven't played it, I apologize. But no, I've had the honor of playing these three maps, so I'm very excited to talk about the World at War versions of Varuk, Shino, and Darius. Let's get to it. Varuk from World at War. This map, oh man. The atmosphere in this map is not as creepy as of Not During Totems. But this map is stressful for one reason and one reason only. The Varuk super sprinters. They are terrifying. They're scary. And on top of like the Varuk sprinters, the whole of Varuk is like very cramped. It's like very small corridors and hallways. You can get stuck on pretty much anything, and you can get stuck on pretty much any corner if you turn the wrong way, turn too quick, turn too slow. You're gonna have to keep your head on the swivel. Also, on Varuk, we have the introduction of power, electrical traps, and our core 4 perks. Quick Revive, which in co-op in this game helps you revive teammates faster. In solo, Quick Revive does nothing. So in solo, you don't need to waste a perk slot with Quick Revive because it does nothing. Juggernaut increases your health and lets you survive more hits. Speed Coil allows you to reload faster and rebuild and repair barriers faster too. Double Tap increases your fire rate. That's pretty much it. The wonder weapon for this map is also the ray gun. World at War Varuk, it sits in the same spot as World at War Not During Totem in C tier. But with the addition of perks and traps, it is slightly better than Nocturne Totem, which has nothing at all besides wall weapons in the mystery box. And that's all that needs to be said. World at War Shino Numa is up next, and I gotta tell you, me and Shino Numa have some history. Like, as of the past couple months. Shino Numa, I have a bone to pick with this map because I've almost full cleared all the trophies for this map except for getting one kill with all 4 traps in the map. And speaking of traps, the 4 electrical traps are back on 4 different sections of the map. We got the doctor's quarters, the storage area, and then the 2 others that I forget the names of. We also have the flogger trap, which is a fan favorite trap that's centered in the center of the map. And when you activate it, it'll fling zombies in every which way. There's wall weapons, of course. You got the introduction of bouncing betties on this map. And the introduction of a brand new wonder weapon in the Wonder Waff. The Wonder Waff has always been a fan favorite wonder weapon, and it's come back in a few Black Ops games. The most recent being BO6, of course, on the map. I think it was it the tomb? Was it the tomb? No, that's not the tomb. I think it was a Shattered Veil. I didn't get it personally. I didn't get to pull it, mind you, but I'm getting sidetracked here. Alright, Shino Numa, we still have our core 4 perks. We have introduction of the Wonder Waff. Bouncing Betties are introduced on this map. The Flogger is on this map and is only on this map and will not return to any other map. And we also have the introduction of our first air quote here, boss zombie in the Hellhounds. World at War's Hellhounds are way creepier than BO1s, BO2s, BO3s, BO4s, and Cold Wars. Way creepier. Just from the fact that before they spawn, you could hear bone-chilling howls in the distance. And I don't know, that is just terrifying. I've been dealing with dogs since BO1, so I shouldn't be afraid of them, but I am. Every time I play Shino Numa with a dog, I tense up. It's actually pretty creepy. Okay, but in terms of that, where does Shino Numa sit with all that going on? No power, there's no power on this map, and all 4 areas of Shino Numa have a random chance of spotting a perk. So you can go to the doctor's quarters and get Jug. You can go to the storage area, get Quick Revive, or the 2 other areas and get Speed Cola and Double Tap, or one of those perks respectively. World at War sits at the very top of C tier above Verut and Nocturne Totem just because of the Wonder Waff alone. If this were Atmosphere, if this were a map on Atmosphere, Nocturne Totem would be much higher. Or Shino Numa would probably still be here though. Shino Numa is creepy because you're in a bug infested swamp, but still not creepier than Nocturne Totem. Still not creepier, in my opinion. Alright, finally, we have BO, Jesus. World at War's not Keto, Jesus, I'm getting ahead of myself. World at War Doris. Now, Doris gives us a lot of things. We still have our core 4 perks. We have the reintroduction of power in this map. And we have the Wonder Waff returning, as well as the ray gun. As well as bouncing betties from Shino Numa. On top of that, we have a brand new item in the Monkey Bomb. As well as, I believe, the Bowie Knife was introduced on this map. I don't remember seeing the Bowie Knife on Verut or Shino Numa. I do not remember. I think it was on this map. But Doris brings us a ton of firsts, including Pack-a-Punch. You see, Nocturne Totem, Verut, and Shino, there was no Pack-a-Punch. There was no way to make your guns better than what they were, unless you had Double Tap. Unless you had Double Tap, that's the only way your guns are going to be slightly better. But other than that, no. Doris gives us Pack-a-Punch, and Pack-a-Punch has been a core staple in every zombies mode, even outside of Treyarch. Infinite Warfare Zombies has it. World War II Zombies have it. Advanced Warfare Zombies had it. Vanguard Zombies had it. Modern Warfare 3 Zombies had it. Every single zombies experience that we had in Call of Duty, there has been a Pack-a-Punch type weapon. Pack-a-Punch type system, excuse me. And like all Pack-a-Punches, you have to complete a short little quest of activating all 3 generators on Doris and linking up all 3 teleporters. Not to generation. Activating all 3 teleporters and linking them back up with the main teleporter back at the spawn. Once you do that, Pack-a-Punch is yours. You can start Pack-a-Punching weapons to your heart's content. Also, Doris has, again, air quotes again, the first Easter egg in the Flytrap Easter egg. In this Easter egg, you find several items scattered on the map, and I think you get a free Wonder Waff, I believe. Don't quote me on it, please. So, with all that being said, with all that war Doris has gone for it, where is it gonna go? B. Don't get me wrong, Doris is easily the best map of World at War, but it's still a B tier map. It's still a B tier map because it's in World at War. It's in World at War with the World at War systems, the World at War weapons. That's where it stays. Yeah. Alright. BO1 is next, or Black Ops 1 is next. And kicking off Black Ops 1, we have everybody's favorite map to talk about, Kino der Toten. Kino is not my first map. My first map was World at War Knockdown. Kino was where I learned about the Hellhounds. But that's besides the point. Kino doesn't really do a lot. Like we got electric traps back, we got fire traps now. But we got a couple fire traps on the map now. But mostly we just have electric traps. We have our core 4 perks back, but now in BO1, Quick Revive is useful in solos because you can revive yourself if you go down. So Quick Revive, Hallelujah is useful now, and it'll be that way for the next 2 games until we get to Black Ops 4. More on that when we get to Black Ops 4. Okay, more on that in an eventual perk update video if I ever get to it. For Kino, we have the core 4 returning perks. Jug, Speed Cola, Double Tap, Quick Revive, as I said. We have reintroduction of Pack-a-Punch again. We have Claymores on this map instead of Bouncing Betties. We have the wall weapons are BO1 themed, of course, because we're in the BO1 engine now. And we have the ray gun returning, as well as a brand new fan favorite wonder weapon in the Thunder Gun. The Thunder Gun is a wonder weapon that has 2 shots to fire off. And in BO1, you cannot reload those shots. Once you shoot a shot, you cannot reload it unless you shoot both shots. Thankfully, the BO3 Thunder Gun changed this, and I'll talk about like more of that when we get to like the eventual wonder weapon update video. I'm not on there right now. But the most defining thing about Kino is that it was supposed to be a World at War map, but there was no time. Kino, in my opinion, it's on the same level as Doris. So Kino goes in the B tier. It's on the same, to me, Kino's on the same level as Doris because it feels like a smaller version of Doris. Well, not really small, mind you. I don't know what I'm talking about. Kino feels like Doris to me, like a BO1 version of what Doris could have been. You get me? Same perks, same teleporting system. Link a teleporter to go to Pack-a-Punch. Get the idea? Oh, also the Nova 6 crawlers are introduced on this map, and for every subsequent BO1 map except for Call of the Dead and Ascension and Shangri-La, which we can't talk about, they're on those maps. Okay, we have 5 next. 5 is a very interesting map. It's the hardest map in this game, whereas Varrock is the hardest map in World at War. 5 is the hardest map in Black Ops 1. Just like in Varrock, you are in a small contained space. There's 3 levels, mind you. You have the war, you have the offices, the war room, and then the labs underneath. Now, 5 brings us some things. We got a core 4 perks again. Ray guns in this map, of course. We have only electric traps here, no other traps. And the Winter's Howl, which is not a very good like wonder weapon. Even if you Pack-a-Punch it, it's still not that good. And the most favorite part about 5 is the Pentagon Thief. The Pentagon Thief is this map's boss zombie. Just like how I would say the Hellhounds back on Kino are that map's boss zombie. I'm using air quotes here. For this particular boss zombie, he will randomly target in a 4-player game. He will randomly target one of the 4 players. Now, the player who he's targeting will be the only person to see him, while the other 3 players will just see nothing. The player that sees him will have to try to stay away from him as long as they can, while the other 3 have to put as many rounds as they can into the Pentagon Thief. If you do this, you get a free max ammo and a bonfire cell, which allows you to Pack-a-Punch your weapons for 1,000 points. However, if your weapon does get stolen, you'll immediately get teleported down to the laboratory, and you'll have to try and get your weapon back. Now, same rules apply. If you kill him before he gets away, you get your weapon back, a free max ammo, and a free bonfire cell. No, and a free fire cell, excuse me. But if you don't, he'll escape, and you're just left with a max ammo, and your weapon's gone. Now 5, I'm a little torn on because I do like this map. I do like this map. I really do like this map. But I don't play 5 as much as I do Kino, and I do think 5 is a B tier map though. It's a good again, B tier's not bad. You know, it's kind of in the middle. You know what I mean? It's in the middle. Alright. Pt1 Ascension, we're coming to you now. So, Ascension has a lot going for it. We have 2 new perks introduced to this map. We have PhD, which is a crowd favorite, and Stamina. Starting with Stamina, as the name suggests, it increases your stamina so you can run faster and for longer. PhD makes you immune to self-inflicted explosives. So, say you have an RPG, shoot the RPG at your feet, you will take no damage from it. And a secondary effect of the PhD is, if you dolphin dive off a high place, when you hit the ground, you'll cause a massive explosion, killing all zombies around you. From videos I've seen in the past, people love doing that on Ascension. But that's not the only thing Ascension brings. We got the Thunder Gun back again. We got Monkey Bombs back again. And we have this map's boss zombie in the Space Monkeys. The Space Monkeys are, in this map, will try to steal your perk. We'll head to a perk one of the perks that you have and try to steal it. If you can kill them without getting your perk stolen, you'll get a free perk. If not, well, that perk is gone, you have to rebuy it again. So in Ascension, it's really important to choose which perks you get and which perks you don't want. So if you get Speed Cola, be prepared to lose that unless you're in a 4-player game and each person guards a particular perk. That's pretty much it. Also, Ascension also has our first proper Easter egg, or main quest for the map. So, there's a lot going on here in Ascension. The Sickle was also introduced here, but no, we don't really talk about that. The Sickle is a good map, but the Sickle is a good item, but we don't talk about the Sickle. No one really talks about it anyway. So, how do I feel about Pt1's Ascension? Well, the same way I feel about Kino and 5. It just sits in the B tier. It's a good map, but nothing more than that. Okay. I think this next map up is the main reason why I wanted to make this video, because I have a lot to say about this map. Up next, we have Call of the Dead. I finally get to talk about the console version of Call of the Dead, and not just talk about how, oh, hey guys, I played the mobile version of Call of the Dead, and I have not played the console versions. I can't talk about it. If I did, I finally get to talk about it. First off, not a at first I was not a fan of the fog. Not a fan. At first, not a fan of the fog, gonna be real. I thought the fog was like really bothersome. But after multiple attempts on this map, trying to do this map's Easter egg, which I did solo by the way, I've come to love Call of the Dead. The Scavenger is really cool. The VR11 is really cool. George is a cool boss zombie. And you know, the mechanic of keeping him frozen in the water is pretty cool. Moving Pack-a-Punch, I'm used to that. I played BO6. Hello. I played BO6. I'm used to that. I played Blood of the Dead on BO4. I'm used to moving Pack-a-Punches. I'm used to this. I kid. But Call of the Dead itself though is a pretty cool map. Pun not intended, because it's in Siberia. And the only reason why I don't have a problem with this map is because I played another map with the same layout as it in BO4, which we'll talk about when we get there. So for Call of the Dead, for me personally, because I enjoyed this map so much, I enjoyed this map very much. Oh, also, Deadshot's also introduced on this map, but no one really goes up to the top of the lighthouse to get Deadshot. I didn't. Truth be told, playing Call of the Dead, I almost forgot that it was on this map. I'm gonna be honest, because I don't really need Deadshot in older games. To be honest with you, it's not really that useful. So Call of the Dead for me, I give Call of the Dead an A. This is our first A tier Call of the Dead map. I really enjoy Call of the Dead. I get now why people say this is one of their favorite maps of all time. That Call of the Dead is a really good map. I understand now why I was told that I need to play the console version. I understand now. This map is awesome. This map is really awesome. I enjoy the vibes and whatnot. I really enjoy the vibes. Alright. We're almost done with BO1. We're almost done. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more maps to talk about. So we have BO1 Moon. The BO1 Moon suffers from a lot of issues that plague BO1, just being on the BO1 engine. The BO1 engine nowadays isn't really fondly looked at. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I'll say it's BO1 Moon. It's a good map. Moon is a fantastic map. I enjoy me some Moon. Now what does this map bring to the table? Well, for starters, Moon brings us Pack-a-Punch on No Man's Land. We get our perks that we've had previously: Jug, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, Double Tap, Stamina. PhD is not on this map, unfortunately. Is PhD? No, PhD is on this map. It's in the biodome. I forget. Deadshot's on this map too as well. But the main reason people love playing this map is for the Easter egg. And the fact that the wonder weapon of this map is the wave gun, or the dual zap guns. I enjoy using the zap guns. I enjoy it very much. Also, should have mentioned about Call of the Dead, the Matryoshka dolls were also on this map. They were introduced on Ascension as well. Should have mentioned that, of course. BO1 Moon, I don't go back to a lot. But I played the hell out of it back when I got my brand new PS3 after so many years of waiting. I played the hell out of Moon. I played the hell out of Moon back in 2014 trying to learn it, and I enjoyed it very much. Here's the question: do I think Moon is on the same level as Call of the Dead, or is it on the same level as the Reese, Kino 5, and Ascension? But I love Moon. I think the zombies on the moon is a pretty fun concept. How do I feel about BO1 Moon? Do I think it's an A tier? No, but I will put it at the tippy top of B. So tippy top of B could be A. Alright. Since we've already talked about these next 4 maps, I'll be quick with these. Not there until in BO1, it goes into C. Does not really change much from World at War, except that there is a perk on this map, but that's about it. Same thing goes for Verup. Nothing new here except that the wonder weapon in this map is the Winter Towel. Shino also suffers the same fate by just not really having much else going for it. And Darius, pretty much the same. Except now we got some BO1 weapons. That's pretty much it. The World at War versions of BO1, the World at War remakes of BO1, they don't differ that much except being on a brand new engine with BO1 guns. And plus, Mule Kick is on all these maps. Just go put that out there. Alright, we're done with BO1. Now it's time for Black Ops 2. Starting off, we have the 3 survival maps. Bus Depot goes into D tier because it's... Oh, Jesus Christ, that scared me. Bus Depot goes into D tier because it's basically just a worse version of Not During Doping without the atmosphere. The same thing goes for Farm. It's just a worse version of No, it's just a worse version of Shino Numa without traps, but it has perks. Town is the best survival map. It goes straight into B tier. It's still like Town is the best because it has core 4 perks and Pack-a-Punch. It also has a brand new perk, which we'll talk about in a second. Alright, Transit. Transit is the big map of, well, I guess in this case it is a big map. It's the big introductory map for Black Ops 2. In solo, this map is insufferable. Specifically because of Pack-a-Punching. Pack-a-Punching in Transit is a level of frustration that I am sad that 16-year-old me back in 2013 had to deal with on a daily basis, but he was dumb and didn't know any better. In Transit, you Pack-a-Punch by crapping the turbine at the bus depot, going all the way over to the power station, dropping your turbine at the power station, and then huffing it over to town. Then you gotta go to town, open the bank door, throw a grenade at the bank vault, and pray the door's open. The door's open, congratulations, you cannot Pack-a-Punch. If not, you just wasted your time. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and poop all over Transit, because I do enjoy Transit. I literally just played it not too long. Literally just played it a month ago. Literally just played it with some randoms a month ago, and we made it to round 30 by camping into Pack-a-Punch, so I can't say much about that. The one weapon of Transit is the jet gun, and it sucks. At least this version sucks. This version of the jet gun BO2 sucks. It does. The reason why? Every time you use it fully and explodes, the parts scatter. And the parts scatter back to different spawn locations, and you have to go track them down. Yeah. It hurts me because Transit was one of the most hyped up maps out. I was like, before when BO2 was coming, when BO2 was out and I didn't have it, all I would do was watch Transit. That's all I would do. From watching Golly to C-Nanners play Transit, I would watch them play it all the time. But unfortunately, Transit sits at the bottom, no, at the top of D tier. It's the best of D tier right now because it's better than Farm, it's better than Bus Depot because it at least has Pack-a-Punch. But it's not on the same level as the C tier maps because the Pack-a-Punching on this map is an atrocity. Doable in 4-player, even with randoms, but solo, good luck. Oh, also on this map, Tombstone was introduced. This is the only new perk. It's the only new perk not really a new perk, but new perk we got here. Tombstone. You die, you respawn, you pick up all your items that you had in the previous life. Yada yada yada. Who cares? We'll talk more about perks when we get to that video. Nuketown. Alright, Nuketown. I like this map. I really do. I'm immediately gonna throw it into C tier because I like this map. I'm actually gonna, no, I don't think it's better than Water maps. No, actually, no. Put it at the top of C tier. It's not a B tier map though. It's not B tier. Not a B tier map. It could be. It's very close. It has Pack-a-Punch. But But the one thing that keeps it from being B tier are the crash landing perks, which adds a unique level of strategy and, well, not really strategy, a unique level of challenge, because you could go rounds without ever having pulled Jug. Yeah. Alright, up next we have Darius, Darius. I used to despise this map back in 2014. I despised this map when I first played it. But the years have been softer to Darius. I don't hate it as much. I think it to be a C tier. It's a C tier map. The wonder weapon on this map is the solidifier, which I do enjoy. I do enjoy building a solidifier and using it and capping on rooftops and whatnot. The new perk on this map is Who's Who, which it's not that good a perk, to be honest with you. Not that good a perk. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead immediately goes into S tier. Here's why. The story of Mob of the Dead is dang near perfect. It is really good. You play as one of 4 mobsters who are trying to escape Alcatraz. You're stuck in an infinite time loop. Every time you die, you spawn back at the beginning of the loop with no memory, with none of your memories, and you literally have to do it over and over again. That's the story. In terms of gameplay, it's a tightly compact map, just like Varuk, and just like, what else did I say? Oh, 5. It's a tightly compact map, but it works to its benefit. You're supposed to feel like you're trapped in a prison gone to hell, pretty much. The wonder weapon of this map is, of course, the Blundergat, which there are which there are 2 ways you can get it. You can get the Blundergat for free by collecting, I think, what is it? 6 or 7, 5 skulls, 4 or 5. There's a certain number of skulls you gotta collect to get a free Blundergat, or you can get lucky and pull it from the mystery box. And unlike other wonder weapons at the time, you can pack a punch the dang, I'm drawing a blank here. You can pack a punch the Blundergat to get the Ventralic Whip. No, not the Ventralic Withering. You can pack a punch the Blundergat, and you can upgrade the Blundergat with the Acid Cat kit to get the Ventralic Withering, which has a monkey bomb effect, which every time you shoot, it'll attract zombies for a few seconds and then explode. Also, I should mention, Transit also, going back real quick, Transit also introduced other buildables like the turret, the zombie shield, the electric trap and whatnot. Darius also has buildables as well, and so does Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead has an Acid Gat kit, like I've talked about, and then the zombie shield, which at least in Mob of the Dead, zombie shield is needed. In Transit, not as much though, unless another player has a turbine. That's about it. But yeah, Mob of the Dead is S tier. It's one of my favorite maps. It's one of my most played maps in BO2. Oh man, we are actively going to the 30-minute mark. I might have to, you know what? I'm gonna try to wrap up BO2 and then we're gonna split this video into 2 parts, okay? Well, it might be multiple parts, I have no idea. But let's continue. Or we're getting through this, I promise. Alright, Buried is up next. Buried immediately goes into A tier. The story in this map is awesome. It wraps Black Ops 2 story up with a nice, neat bow. And overall, the map is very well made. The wonder weapon of this map is the Paralyzer. And not to mention, we also get the time bombs, which if you throw them down and then activate them, you go back in time to the moment at which you placed it. So you could be doing a round 100, throw a time bomb down, get cornered, and then time bomb back to round 1 with all your points. Think about that. There's also, this map also has the most buildables of any other map. You got the subsonic resonator, you got the turbine coming back, got the head chopper. This, 2 other traps I'm forgetting, I've drawn a blank. Also, we got our core perks, including the introduction of one of a fan, or when they say fan favorite, with the introduction of Vulture Aid, which allows you to see things through walls. I didn't mention it also while I'm talking about it now. I didn't mention this, but a Mob of the Dead, the new perk of that map was Electric Cherry. Should have mentioned that. I'm trying to wrap up here. Very since an A tier, the map flows very well. You can go back to spawn if you do a little side quest, and if you get through the maze, if you get through the haunted house with the ghost lady without getting touched, you get a free perk. Don't you just love free perks? Also, this map also has some pretty cool perma perks. So does Transit, so does Die Rise. Just throw it out there. Alright. Next up we have BO2 Origins. It's also going straight into S tier, just because I've been playing Origins since, good lord, 2014. I know this map backwards and forwards. I've beaten this game's map's Easter egg twice. Once on BO3, once on BO2, and let me tell you, it's just fun every time I play it. The winner weapons of this map are the ray gun, the 4-element, and the 4 elemental stats, which you can upgrade, or you have to upgrade if you want to do the Easter egg, of course. We also have, well, as I call it, the Hadouken punch, which replaces your knife with a very powerful punch, which you have to upgrade for the Easter egg too as well. Interesting, I know. And on this map, Wonder Fizz was introduced, where you can get any perk in the game, including Electric Cherry and PhD, which was teased all the way back in the elevator shaft in Die Rise, and teased once again off the dock, off the dock at Mob of the Dead. Origins is a really great map. The atmosphere, the story of premise begins here, and the events of this map kick off the events of Black Ops 3, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But we're done with part 1 for now. I've been recording for 37 minutes. We're going to take a quick break. And then we're going to get back into it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. For you guys, it'll probably be, say, maybe a couple days, but for me, it's right now. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in part 2, where we continue with BO3 and BO4. Peace out.